Last time, on Broken Sword, Shadow of the Templars, the director's cut, we went into this parish. Well, first of all, we found out... Okay, so we went to Spain. That happened first. We went to Spain to look into this family connected to the Shadows Templar, whose crest George had found. And we did a bunch of puzzles while we were in Spain, and in so doing, we found a lost communion chalice, which I then took here and gave to a priest, and the priest polished it for me, and lo and behold...
It was hard to believe it was the same chalice. Now the light gleamed off its perfect surface.
He was supposed to reveal that there were things on the chalice. Images, I think. I forget exactly what the priest said. But this chalice that we found in Spain, connected to the Templars, has some hints that we might be able to use going forward. Now, I think I'm going to go to the Kroon Museum so that I can show the chalice to the professor there, who's been able to help me on basically everything else going on here so far. So that is where we are right now. Alright. Musea Kroon. I am now in the Musea Kroon. So I'm going to talk to Lobano, which is this guy.
Hi, Andre.
Hello, Georgie.
So about this three-headed statue.
While I was in Syria, I discovered a strange pagan statue. It was like a head with three bearded faces. Horrible.
That sounds as if it could be Baphomet, the idol described by the Templars.
The poor Knights
Baphomet.
of Christ had an idol that looked like that?
Allegedly, the description of the idol came from the evidence extracted by the Inquisition. Mind you, not one statue or idol was ever found on Templar property. Until now, that is. Just last month, a statue of Baphomet was unearthed right here in Paris.
Where?
At the Institut Hermétique de Naval.
Huh.
The statue is beneath the foundations. It was discovered by some workmen while renovating the building.
Can you tell me any more about the statue of Baphomet?
It's a fearful
Baphomet.
image even now. A bearded head. The base of the statue is carved with Templar symbols. One of the workmen noticed a curious stain at the base. He claimed it looked like blood.
Blood?
That's right.
Blue. As Dracula would say. Okay, I'm going to ask you about the thing that I actually came here to ask you about, which is this chalice.
No.
Alright,
Thanks for your help, Andre.
at least
You're
I know
welcome.
that I can visit this Baphomet site. Alright. So where is this site, Baphomet? Oh, here it is. Now at the site to Baphomet. Hello, good sir, smoking a cigarette. Don't you know that is bad for your health?
Excuse me, could you help me?
What is it?
I've got a few questions.
Alright. Tell me about yourself, good sir.
You're doing a fine job.
Merci. I have my professional pride.
I don't think I've ever seen a Gauloise smoke so stylishly.
It's a natural talent.
I'm being sarcastic.
I'm being indifferent.
You're very good at that as well.
Merci. Vive l'indifférence.
George, come on, mind your own business. For all you know, this guy just, like, broke his back painting and is taking a well-earned break.
So, what are you doing here?
I am having my break.
Yeah, I mean, when you finish your break.
When I finish my break, an interesting concept, monsieur.
Okay.
You'll probably need to think about it.
I could have another cigarette while I consider. Perhaps tomorrow too.
He's not exactly, instilling any confidence in me about how industrious he is.
Okay, let me put things differently. What were you hired to do here?
I was hired to keep the archaeological dig in the basement of this building clear of debris and to touch up damage to the door frames with my
Damage.
little pot of paint. It's a very responsible job. Unfortunately, I'm not a very responsible person.
He's very honest, at the very least.
So what do you know about the excavation?
I know they won't let me in to do my job. I would complain to my union, but
You couldn't be bothered to join.
right. Tell you what, though, I'm surprised at the sort of people interested in this excavation.
Excavation.
What's unusual about the visitors to the excavation?
None of them look like archaeologists to me.
Do you know what an archaeologist looks like?
Three-piece suits, crocodile-eyed attaché cases, Rolex oyster.
No archaeologist dresses like that.
Quite right, monsieur, quite right.
So, who are they?
Who cares as long as they pay me?
They're probably Templars.
What does the word Templar suggest to you?
Templar?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Sir, I have this plaster.
I have some plaster of Paris.
Amazing.
I also have this photograph.
Have you seen this man before?
Yes, he asked me a lot of questions,
Khan.
just like you.
Khan talked to him. How about this, I found this toilet chain in Syria.
No.
I found this soggy tissue in the sewers of Paris.
A greasy tissue. Don't get it too close to my cigarette, monsieur, or there'll be a conflagration.
Conflagration, you say? Shake my hand, good smoking cigarette, sir.
I was pretty sure the shaken shock had shot its bolt in Syria.
What Wizard says, look at this photograph. Every time I do, it makes me laugh. How about this manhole cover removing device?
I've got a sewer key.
I used to work in the sewer.
Oh? What happened?
I had a cigarette break in a pocket of methane. A manhole cover landed on the other side of the Seine and I was sacked.
Well, you're lucky you got this job. How about this chalice?
Have you ever seen anything like this?
Yes, it's a communion chalice. I know, you know, I used to be an altar boy.
You?
Yes, me. What's so funny about that?
Nothing.
Altar boys can be shiftless and lazy. How about this Gruber?
Has a guy calling himself Merlin been nosing around?
Was he wearing a t-shirt with "My name is Merlin" on it?
I doubt it.
Then how the hell am I supposed to know his name just by looking at him? Huh?
I don't know, dude. Maybe he talked to you.
Be seeing you.
Au revoir, monsieur.
Don't know why you have to be so hostile. Can I have your bucket of paint, please?
Hey, monsieur! Get away from my paint pot!
You know what?
Okay.
I should think so. Meddling with a man's paint pot. Pah!
Fine. I might need it later, but...
I couldn't see any use for a collection of dirt and half bricks.
No?
The doorway was full of assorted old tea chests, cardboard boxes, and so on. All empty and all uninteresting.
Okay.
The doorway led to an old utility closet that had lost its door. There was nothing interesting in there.
Nothing interesting, you say. Okay, how about this?
A thermostat was mounted over a radiator. The radiator was pumping out heat as the thermostat was cranked right over to full. No wonder it was warm in here, even with the door open to the chill of fall. I couldn't imagine what I'd achieved by turning the dial.
Well, maybe I'll find out. What's this?
There was a telephone on the far wall.
Okay. I don't think I need to make any phone calls.
There was a closed door with toilets scratched into the cheap veneer.
That door is locked, monsieur.
You don't say. Hello, sir.
A guard stood by a door I guessed led to the excavation. He looked pretty pompous. Well, not so much pretty, just pompous.
Just pompous.
Hi? Excuse me?
Oui?
Tell me about yourself.
So, what exactly are you doing here?
I'm guarding. You expect to find me shearing sheep?
Take it easy, I just didn't realize you were a guard. I'd like to know what you're guarding, please.
That's a secret.
It wouldn't happen to be an archaeological site, would it?
Are you asking me or telling me?
I'm telling you.
Then why ask?
I had a feeling this was no normal hole in the ground.
Oh, you know. Guards are hired just to guard random holes in the ground in Paris.
I'd like to use the washroom, but the door's locked.
Oh, that's no problem. You can have the key.
Thanks.
Nice. That was easy enough.
Hi again.
What is it?
It sure is hot in here.
I have to have the door open to allow the workmen access, so why not? I turn the heat up.
You could wrap up warm.
I have my gloves if it gets cold, but why bother when it's warm anyway?
All right.
What do you know about the Knights Templar? There was a long pause during which the guard said nothing. Then he said,
Nothing.
nothing at all?
Is this a test?
What, like a history pop test?
No, like a test.
Okay, yes, it's a test.
Then I know absolutely nothing about the Templars.
If it weren't a test, would you know something about them?
The guard was being amazingly evasive. It was going to take more than goodwill to get past him.
All right. Do you have any use for this plaster of Paris, sir?
I got this plaster from Ireland.
Not an exciting souvenir.
Maybe not, but, you know, I'm a thrifty man.
Have you seen this man before?
Oh,
You have.
no.
I got this bathroom toilet chain in Syria.
That is not a good idea.
I don't know why, George. I found this soggy tissue in the sewers.
Look, a tissue stained with grease paint.
Ah, just what I've always wanted. If you give me that, you can enter through the door.
Really?
Of course not. What would I want with an old tissue?
What Wizard says, I really like how sarcastic everyone is in response to you. Yeah, me too.
No.
Dear sir, I have a sewer key here.
This gadget is a sewer key.
So it is.
I have this communion chalice.
I thought better of showing him the chalice. He might be on the conspiracy's payroll, and I didn't want to risk it.
Oui. You have...
A sudden urge to sing. Care to join me?
No, no singing in here.
No. Do you know a man named Merlin?
Do you recognize this name?
Merlin. No.
Merlin. How about these keys you just gave me?
Here's the keys. Thanks.
Merci, monsieur.
Actually, I still want the keys.
Talk to you later.
Au revoir, monsieur.
Hi again.
What is it?
I need to use the toilet again.
Again? Already?
I have this problem. How technical do you want me to get?
Never mind. Here's the key.
Alright. Time to go and use the toilet. Alright. So we have our handy-dandy towel dispenser.
On the wall was an automatic hand dryer.
Or hand dryer, excuse me.
I wasn't about to wash my hands in this place, so I didn't need to dry them.
We have this sink.
Oh boy! Dirty soap! How do they do that?
Good question. I now have this soap.
Oh boy! Dirty soap! How do they do that?
So, obviously...
The taps were rusty. Oh boy! The cold tap's washer looked to have failed.
I don't know why,
It's just dribbling down the sink.
Jorge is being so sarcastic about everything. So obviously...
Oh boy!
Obviously, I need to do something with the soap, because otherwise it wouldn't be, like, this big-ass close-up thing. I don't know. Am I supposed to use something on the soap, like, to get, like, an imprint of my keys or something?
Perhaps I could make a copy of the key.
I don't know what... Oh, I guess it probably just doesn't just have the
Made a
bathroom.
clear imprint in the soap. The bar of soap had the imprint of a key in it. The bar of...
I guess it probably just doesn't just have the bathroom key, but also the other keys. So that makes sense.
Carry a bar of dirty soap around with me.
Well, wait a minute. Oh, I need to use the plaster of Paris. So... this.
I couldn't do that.
Oh. I put it in the thing.
I knew keeping that plaster was a good idea. With the plaster and the imprint, I was on the right lines. I had filled the key's imprint in the soap with dry plaster. You can't make a cast without wetting the plaster.
Right.
But wet plaster alone does not make a cast.
So you dry it. It all makes
I wasn't
sense.
allowed to wash my hands. I used the dryer to speed up the process.
Right.
Well, it had taken a while, but I had made myself a completely unconvincing plaster key. Way too fragile to use in a lock. I'd have to substitute it for the real one. Trouble was, it looked like plaster and not metal. Then again, that plaster statue in Syria hadn't looked like stone until I'd been a bit artful with it. Maybe I could improve the key as well.
Ah, well, thanks for all those hints, George. So I need to make the key look more authentic, and then switch it back onto the keychain.
It was my plaster copy of the excavation.
Right. So I need to switch it back onto the keychain after I've made it look more authentic, and then I'll have the keys. Can I just wipe it with my greasy tissue again?
Maybe not.
Apparently not. Alright. What's this? What's this?
The thing felt really hot. Big demands seemed to be being made on it.
Right.
I didn't want any coal.
Why not?
Being in a charming comfort station like this made me think fondly of the toilet in Syria. That place was kept in pretty good order. At least, it had been until I vandalized it. Still, it was all for a good cause.
I guess. Alright. Dear sir.
Hey, monsieur, don't go with my keys.
Ugh, fine. I'm gonna need them again, though, so that I can switch them out with a fake key.
Hi again.
What is it?
Here's the keys. Thanks.
Merci, monsieur.
Alright, so I'm guessing that,
Talk to you later.
doctoring
Au
up
revoir,
this
monsieur.
plaster key has something to do with this paint out here.
Gunmetal paint. Interesting.
Right. Can I just, like, dip it?
Hey, monsieur, Get away from my paint pot!
Dude,
Okay.
I should think so. Meddling with a man's paint pot. Puh.
since when do you care? I thought you were apathetic about everything. Can I use my tissue on it at least?
Hey, monsieur!
Fine.
Okay.
I should...
What?
Hi, it's me.
What?
I made this key out of plaster.
How thrilling! How clever! How pointless.
I want to paint it, but you will not allow me
seeing you.
to.
Au revoir, monsieur.
Dana Space Stan says, a great offense you have committed. Never mess with a Frenchman's paint pot. Well, I guess that is a lesson that I never learned. Or I should say George Stobart never learned. I don't know. Excuse me. Maybe Nico can help me.
Do you mind if I use the phone?
Be my guest. I'm paid to guard this door.
Not the phone.
can look after itself.
Nice.
Fuller!
Hello, Nico. It's me.
Hi, George. What's happening?
I'm at the excavation, but they won't let me in.
Damn! We need to know what's in there.
Don't worry.
I like how
I've
you're
got a
having this
scheme.
conversation
I'm going
right
to
in
need
front
your
of the
help, though.
guard.
Okay, what do you want me to do?
I want you to keep somebody on the phone for a while.
Who?
A painter. I need to get at his pot.
Oh, okay.
Stay on the line. I'll go and get him.
What Wizard says, that man looks like he ate a very messy hot dog with extra mustard. I assume you're talking about the painter. I think that's paint on him. What Wizard? Not mustard. Mr.
Hi,
Painter,
it's
good
me
sir.
again.
What now?
A lady wants to
You've
talk
got
to
a
you.
phone call.
For me? Are you certain?
It's a woman. She sounded hot.
What woman? She must be mistaken, monsieur.
Well, she asked for that hunk of a man with the nicotine fingers and his ass hanging out of his pants.
Certainly sounds like me. Stand back. It wouldn't do to keep the lady from her hunk.
What Wizard says he knows that it is paint. Panda Space Dan says, twist! The paint pot is full of mustard. He keeps it on hand to dip his lunchtime hot dogs. I suppose that's possible. Alright. I now have this authentic looking key.
The plaster key had soaked up the paint nicely, and now looked pretty convincing. Still felt like plaster, though.
Alright.
Well, monsieur, what a strange woman. She was all over me, and then suddenly, nothing but abuse.
Really?
Why, abuse? Ah well, I have a cigarette to finish. And monsieur, if she calls again, I am not available.
Well, I guess Nico did a reasonable job of making sure that that dude doesn't bother her anymore. Alright, so I can now switch out the keys, I guess. Although he did say they didn't feel
Hi,
right.
man.
What is it?
I need to use the toilet again.
Again? Already?
I have this problem.
Excuse me.
How technical do you want me to get?
Never mind. Here's the key.
Alright.
Now, I'd substituted the fake key for the excavation key. It looked okay, but felt false.
Alright, so I'm assuming I probably can't give it back to him until it feels right. What can I do to make it feel right? Let's see. What else is around here?
I couldn't see any use for a collection.
Okay.
The doorway led to an old utility closet that had lost its door. There was nothing interesting in there. I turned the heating off.
Oh,
As
so
I'd
now he
hoped,
puts his
the
gloves
guard
on.
put his gloves on.
Alright. Well, now I can give him the false key, I guess.
Hi again.
What is it?
I held my breath and hoped that he wouldn't notice the substitution. Here's the keys. Thanks.
Merci, monsieur.
Okay.
Talk to you later.
Au revoir, monsieur.
So now is there like a side door or something I can use with the keys? I didn't think there was. Did I ever look at what was in this thing?
Hey, you! Get away from my dumpster.
Okay.
Jeez. That guy's real possessive. Get away from my dumpster.
I
So what, do I-
couldn't get to the door while the guard was there.
Right. Alright, so do I need to enlist Nico again for help?
Hi, Nico. It's me again.
I'd guessed. What do you want this time?
What did you say to the painter?
I shan't repeat it, Josh.
Look, I need to get the guard out of the way. Could you call back and ask him to get the painter again?
Okay, I'll call back soon.
I like how you can say this to her when the guard is standing right there. It's rather absurd.
This looked like a good place to watch things develop.
Good, this will be good.
Hey, you. It's the phone.
Yeah, who is it?
How should I know? What am I, your social secretary?
It's not a chick, is it?
Yes, it's a woman. Are you going to answer it?
Does she have a warm, sensual voice like molten chocolate?
Yes, she has a really sexy voice. Now get a move on.
I'm not talking to her.
I can see that. You're wasting time talking to me.
No, you don't understand. I refuse to talk to her.
You refuse. You refuse. I'm wasting valuable time.
Don't make me laugh. Your time valuable? You just stand around all day.
I have a highly responsible job. Ha, don't bah me, you elephantine oaf. My job is important.
Impossible. They would have hired somebody competent in that case.
Meaning what?
Instead of which they hired a dismal rent-a-cop like you. All epaulettes and no brains.
Why, you...
This looked set to carry on for some time. It was too good an opportunity to miss.
Alright. So I have a key. Alright. We've made it inside.
I couldn't see anything useful to do with the planks. There was no doubt about it. It was the same sort of idol I'd seen in Syria, Baphomet. The Templars had certainly been through here.
Alright.
Close up, the pattern didn't make any sort of sense. It fanned out around an axis point, a kind of focus to one side.
Sorry, what was that?
Close up, the pattern didn't make any sort of sense. It fanned out around an axis point, a kind of focus to one side.
Access point. Do I need to use this on it? There we go.
And there it was, decoded by the curves of the chalice, the image of a church.
Alright. You've done it this time, George. You've done it again.
I found out what the chalice was for.
You've solved the puzzle?
Yeah, there was a distorted picture at the Baphomet site. When I viewed it in the polished surface of the chalice, it changed.
What did it show?
A picture of a church with a square tower. Just how long have you known Labino?
Andre? We met at college. He helped me out when I was a fresher. Showed me around, that sort of thing.
You never told me that before. I thought he was just a working acquaintance.
So he is. I rarely see him these days. You know, he hasn't changed much. A little lesser at the front, perhaps. I'd forgotten how much fun he could be.
Look at the chalice now, Nico.
What happened? It's shiny.
The priest at Montfaucon buffed it up for me.
That's incredible.
Yeah, looks as good as new.
No. You found a use for a priest. That's incredible.
Anti-clerical sentiment is strong with this one.
Maybe not.
Alright, well, Nico...
I guess I'd better return the chalice to the Countess.
Hurry back, Georges.
I'm off to Spain again, with all this money I have. A few hours later... Hey, Lopez, old buddy. What's up, man? I'm gonna walk right through your big old stream of water, because I don't care.
How's tricks?
Senor Stobart, how pleasant to see you. You are well.
Fine, thanks. Is the Countess in?
She is waiting for you. I will show you up.
It's okay, I know the way.
Senor Stobart, I feel I owe you an apology.
No, you don't.
I was impolite on our first meeting.
Look, Lopez, just forget about it. I came on like a snake oil merchant. I wouldn't have trusted me in your shoes.
You do not understand. Finding the chalice has given my lady a new lease of life. It's a marvel. She smiles, she laughs. The tradesmen are saying that she is on product.
Hey now.
So the Countess feels that the curse is lifted.
I would not put it so strongly. Your discovery of the chalice was proof that the Templars never abandoned the De Vasconcelos. It counts for a great deal with my lady.
Alright, well.
What's the story behind the chalice vanishing?
When the Inquisition raided, in the absence of Don Carlos, it was believed that they had taken it. Naturally, they denied the charge as they denied taking the children.
Children?
And naturally, nobody believed them.
But they were telling the truth. The chalice was hidden from them. You don't suppose they were telling the truth about the children as well, do you?
Madre de Dios! I had not thought of that. But then what happened to them?
I don't know. If the Inquisition didn't take them, then who did?
You must speak to my lady of these.
Count on it.
Alright. Do I need to show him anything else? I don't think so. I think I've showed him all this other stuff. Okay.
Catch you later, Lopez.
Adios, Senor Stobart.
Time to talk to the Countess again. I think she's up here. Hello, Madam Countess.
Senor Stobart. Oh, what a pleasure. Please, sit down.
Hi, Countess. The pleasure's all mine. I've brought back your chalice.
Why? You've had it cleaned.
Yep. A nice old priest, man.
Yeah, I met an obliging priest with a soft cloth.
Have you resolved the Templar mystery?
No, not yet. I don't even know what it is I'm after.
There are many stories of the knight secreting great wealth away.
Whatever. All I know is I don't want the bad guys to get it.
Ah, to be young and live in a world of moral absolutes.
Alright.
There's still the mystery of the missing chess piece.
I do not think that it will ever be discovered unless the fate of the children is revealed.
The Inquisition were suspected of taking the chalice and the kids, right? We know now they were innocent of the first crime. What if
They did not take the children either. Then what happened to them?
the Inquisition admitted to killing Don Carlos's manservant? Now, this guy had been told to protect the kids at all costs, right?
That is correct.
I think he hid them and the chalice when he got wind that the Inquisition was coming. With him dead, and Don Carlos driven mad with grief, there was nobody left who knew the secret. You know what this means, don't you?
I fear so. The children are still here somewhere. If this is so, then it is small wonder that the de Vasconcelos are cursed.
I discovered something amazing with that chalice. In Paris, I found a church where they recognized the coat of arms. I found the tomb of Don Carlos de Vasconcelos.
You are sure? There can be no mistake?
The coat of arms on the chalice matches the one on the tomb.
Incredible. You have my most profound thanks. I must go there as soon as possible.
Yeah? Well, I'd be happy to show you the city. There's something else that I discovered carved on Don Carlos's tomb. Biblical references.
What are the references, Senor Stobart?
Psalms 32:7, Corinthians.
I am not a good enough scholar to know the Bible chapter and verse. I meant, what are the quotations?
You know, I forgot to ask the priest.
You know, you could, like, look it up. It's not like there's any shortages of Bibles in the world. I think I've asked her about all these other things.
I'll have a look around if that's okay.
My home is your home. I shall remain here.
Alright. So... I've been most places, haven't I?
It was a small mirror hanging over the sink.
Oh, cool. I have a small mirror.
It was just a little utility room with no exit, unless you
Okay.
counted the window, and I didn't.
This is where the dogs are, right? Alright.
I didn't like the idea of carrying 30 yards of hose around me, so I left it alone.
That's fair, although... Can't everything just fit in your pants, George?
The main part of the house was old, but nowhere near as old as the gatehouse section.
Gatehouse section. Oh, there's an area over here. When you walk through the garden, you better watch your back. And I'll beg your pardon on the straight and narrow track. When you walk through Jesus. Oh, hey, there's a Bible here. Cool. So I can look up those verses, or...
It was the Spanish Bible I borrowed from the mausoleum.
George, can't you just look up the verses? Maybe the old lady can help him. It's not that hard, George. Didn't you study law? They make it nice and easy for you in there. What Wizard says, this is basically the game, same as The Wire. Panda Space Dan says, yeah, I see no difference. Yeah, The Wire did borrow very heavily from Broken Sword. Especially in the 5th season, where the Templar cult was revealed as being behind the entire drug operation in Baltimore. Alright, lady. I have his Bible. I don't know how to read.
Hello again. Mind
Even
if I
though I'm
sit?
a lawyer.
Please, be my guest.
Here's the Bible from the mausoleum.
Very well. Let us begin. The first reference.
Psalms 32:7.
Thou art my hiding place. Thou shalt preserve me from trouble. Thou shalt compass me about with songs of deliverance. My hiding place.
Don't get your hopes up too high. This might just be leading us to where we found the chalice.
You are right, of course. The next.
Okay, John 4:11.
John 4:11. Here. The well is deep. The next. Quickly.
Okay. Corinthians 4:5.
Here it is.
The well is deep.
Will bring to light the hidden things. Any more?
Just one. Psalms again. 22:21.
Save me from the lion's mouth, for thou hast heard me from the horns of the unicorn. Alas, it's confusing. Lions, unicorns, what does it mean?
I can't guess.
Salient points seem to be
Yeah,
a
there is
hiding
such a thing
place
as
and a deep
context.
well. In no
But-
sense is the mausoleum a well, Senor Stobart.
Is there a well in the grounds?
I do not know. I suppose that there must have been once upon a time. Lopez is the man to ask about anything pertaining to the estate.
Okay, so should I talk to Lopez then?
I'll have a look around if that's okay.
My home is your home. I shall remain here.
Okay, Lopez, old buddy.
Hi, Lopez. Got a minute?
Certainly, senor. How can I help you?
You must know just about everything that there is to know about this place.
See, I have lived my whole life here in the service of the De Vasconcelos.
Do you know of a well anywhere around here?
Well, si, senor. This used to be a fortified villa. How can you last a siege without water?
Great. So where is it?
How should I know? The well was covered over in the last century. It was dangerous, you see.
And you have no idea where it was?
None. It was hidden even before my grandfather's time.
You must have a vague idea of where the well is.
It must have been in the old house's courtyard, so that would put it around here.
Here? Okay. How do we find it?
There might be a way. Let me think about it.
Any ideas yet?
Not as yet, Senor Stobart. I shall give it more thought.
Alright.
Catch you later, Lopez.
Adios, Senor Stobart.
I guess I'll come back later. So there's something about bringing light into hidden things, right?
Hanging from the ceiling was a huge yellowed candle. It looked really old and had never been lit.
So maybe the first step is to light this candle. Seems like a good enough start at least.
Now what? There was nothing to snuff.
Oh, this
Feeling
is
like
a
an idiot,
snuffer.
I put it down again.
Oh, I guess I just need to use something on it to catch it, so I can use this tissue. My greasy tissue comes in handy. Okay. Oh no! The candle went out. I need to close the window. And the space Dan says Stobart will never throw a thing away again. Oh hey, my tissue
The
changed.
tissue was pretty charred, but the grease paint had done most of the burning.
That's good. Alright, let's try this again. So George just sat here for like hours while this candle burned off.
The candle had burnt brilliantly, but only for a couple of minutes.
Oh, okay.
Some kind of special formulation, I guess. And had yielded up this.
Whatever,
A
George.
complex shape, expertly cut in stone. I figured it was some kind of key.
Some kind of key.
It was a smooth, intricately carved piece of stone that had been concealed inside the great candle.
The Great Candle. And the Space Dan says, now that the greasy tissue has once again provided its worth. Yeah, that greasy tissue sure come in handy. I basically wiped it on a piece of trash and traded it to some unsuspecting tourists for $50. And I used it to light a candle. Lopez? Oh. Of course. He's up here. Hey, Lopez, buddy, have you thought of anything yet?
Hi, Lopez. Got a minute?
Certainly, senor. How can I help you?
Any ideas yet?
We are looking for a source of water, see?
Yes.
Yeah.
For generations, the Spanish country folk have had a secret way of locating water, even if it is meters beneath the ground.
Ah, you're not talking about water dousing, are you?
Eh?
You know, you get a stick and walk around until the stick twitches and dig there.
Oh, you've heard of it.
Yeah, I think most of the planet has. Okay, let's get a stick.
Uno momento. It must be a special stick. A Y of hazel.
Right. Do you have any hazel trees?
See? Here. That is hazel.
Okay. Oh, okay. This.
I went over to find a suitable stick.
I don't believe it.
There wasn't a single usable Y-shaped branch on the whole damn thing.
Damn. Well, surely there's another hazel tree around here somewhere. Here's another one.
I went over to find a suitable stick.
Aha!
Okay. I now have a suitable dowsing stick.
Hi, Lopez. Got a minute?
Certainly, senor. How can I help you?
Well, I got my divining rod. Now what?
Simplicity itself, senor. Hold the wand at the upper ends of the Y. Apply a little tension with your wrists so that the slightest movement of the wand tip is clear, and walk slowly and steadily over the area.
Sounds easy enough. We'll find this well in no time.
Good old Lopez.
Senor Stobart, you found something.
This is it. This is where we find the secret of the Templars. Hidden here for hundreds of years. Lost from the sight of man until now. The mystery is revealed.
It's a tin can.
I've been walking up and down with a twig in my hands, looking for a tin can.
It had water in it. That's what the dowsing stick must have detected.
I have to check with an archaeologist, but I don't think the Templars left that.
In truth, Senor Stobart, the loan was laid many, many years ago. This can could date back to the Napoleonic Wars.
Get rid of it and I'll try it again.
Lopez threw the can away. It seemed to fall an awfully long way. The splash at the end confirmed what we both suspected. Well, I'll be a monkey's uncle.
It has been here all the time. All those years and nobody found it.
Stood in awe for a moment, marveling at the secrets all around us.
So it was just like
I could
hidden
have
by a
fallen
bush or
down
something.
that.
All right. So what? He just never looked over that bush there.
The well had been lost for decades at least. The air was cool after the noon sun, but that's not what gave me goosebumps. I have a really, really bad feeling about this.
You don't say. All right.
Sometime in antiquity, there'd been a rock slide. Big ones. I wished I'd had a hard hat. From a distance, the lion's head had been impressive. Close up, it was frightening. Hey, one of the fangs is a separate piece. I could hear the sound of a lot of stone moving, and I knew I was in danger.
Oh no. Well, at least you got out of the way in time.
Oh, very funny, you psychos.
Senor Stobart! Senor Stobart! Are you all right?
It's okay, Lopez, I'm fine.
Hey, susto, mi has dada. You gave me a scare.
Nice try, Templars.
You foiled my plans this time. What Wizard says, if this was King's Quest, you'd
I
be
wish
dead
that
now.
I had Leary's flashlight now. It was too dark to see, and I had to rely on touch. It just felt like a pitted stone wall. I'd almost been killed for the sake of a red herring.
Can I, like, reflect the light with my mirror onto the wall?
I realized I could use the mirror to reflect the light from above.
Ah. Nice.
There, in the middle of the door, I could see some kind of socket.
It looked like this wasn't quite the dead end it had seemed.
Okay.
Now I knew what I was looking for. It only took a few moments to find it. And there it was. A worked socket. As smooth and perfect as if it had been carved only yesterday.
So that's probably what this thing is for, I'm guessing.
I slid the stone key into the lock. There were buttons that turned the dials.
Okay. So am I supposed to put in the biblical references, or I'm trying to remember what the biblical references were. It's probably in here. I've never read any of these. Okay. XIV. Okay, here are the numerals outside the inscription. XIV, XXVII. So, 14, 27, 6, 81, 3. Okay. So, I'm guessing that I just start with 14. Four.
I heard the sounds of the lock moving. Either that or the wall was going to come down on my head.
Okay. And then what was the next one? Yeah, 14. So 14, 27. $27. 1427. 6. Okay, so this can just be blank. There's a blank space, I see. Blank space, baby. Okay. So let's go back. All right. 6. I think the next one was 81 or something. 681, yeah. Okay. So 80 and 1. So what's next? Three. Can't say this is the most challenging of puzzles if I'm doing it right. Okay, 3. Alright. It's just time consuming. 1. There we go. And 7. Or wait a minute. Is that right? 3, 1. Oh no, I missed one. 17. So 7x. Oops, wrong way. Oh yeah, right way. 17. Right. And 7. So that's easy enough. I just need to... Oops. Oh. Wrong way. What are you doing, Nathan? Okay, 7.
I must have made a mistake. The lock spun back to neutral and nearly took my fingers off. I was gonna have to start from scratch again.
All right. Well, you know it's no Tex Murphy. All right. So it's 14. Let's do this again. 14. Okay. And then what's 27, I think? Yeah, 27. 27. Oh, Panda Space Dan says it was 12, not 7. Damn it. 27. Okay. And then... Six. 666. Mark of the Beast. All right. Yep. And 81. Three. 3. And 1. Okay. And 17. Okay. And now, I think it's 12. Like Man the Space Stan said. 17, 12. Yeah, 12. Okay. So that means 10 and 2. Alright. 12. And I think there's only one more. And that is 25. Okay, so there is a 20 here. So we just need 20, and we need 5. There we go. Boom.
Oh, yes! Bonus points for that, I hope. I knew the old Stobart fingerwork wouldn't let me down.
Oh my.
Before I left, though, there was one last thing to do.
Wait, what?
You won't be needing that replacement piece anymore, Countess. I found it with the children.
Oh,
You'll
okay.
probably want to be alone for a while. I'll be out in the garden with Lopez.
I'm not really sure. I think I might have skipped over some kind of cutscene, but that's okay. Back in Nico's apartment.
George, welcome back.
Come in, Josh. It's good to see you again.
Is it?
Oh, George. Don't be so jealous, dude. It's not very becoming.
Sure. What did you find in Spain?
Without Andre, we wouldn't have got this far, Josh.
Yeah, I know. The clues led to an underground chamber at the bottom of a well. The Templars had left a tapestry showing a chessboard. The white pieces were vastly outnumbered. There was a stream running across the board, and a Templar knight on a horse.
Does it mean anything to you, Andre?
No, nothing.
Maybe we should tell Andre what else you found.
Thanks,
Josh.
Andre.
There's a map and a Latin inscription to the west at the edge of the world.
George found that in a cave in Syria.
Yeah, where the assassin almost killed me.
Then we've got the burning of Jacques de Molay and the date, 1314.
From the window of the church in Montfaucon Square, one of the few places where nobody tried to kill me.
Then we have the image of a church that George found at the excavation. I don't recall anyone trying to kill you there either, George.
And finally we have the tapestry in Spain. Did I mention I almost got killed there?
Not yet,
Did
but
you?
I'm sure you're about to.
It was only my cat-like reflexes that saved me from certain death.
Cat-like reflexes, eh?
And while I was risking life and limb, where were you, Andre? Getting your glasses fogged up over an Etruscan vase?
That's enough, boys. Can we get back to saving the world?
Of course. My apologies.
He started it.
Well, the Latin phrase are the words of Julius Caesar. He was describing the island of Britain.
Are you sure? The map didn't look much like Britain.
How come Caesar described Britain as being at the edge of the world?
To the Romans, the Mediterranean was the center of the universe. Britain was a remote, unfriendly place, inhabited by blue-painted savages.
It hasn't changed much.
They've stopped painting themselves blue.
Except when they go to a football match.
They used an extract from a plant called woad, Icetis tinctoria. The Scots were using it until fairly recently in their wars with the English.
Fairly recently? I don't recall the Scots being at war with the English. How recently are you talking about?
I believe William Wallace's men used it in the 13th century. They might well have been using it as late as...
You can't remember, can you?
1314.
Ah, we're back onto that, are we?
André, what is it? What do you mean?
1314 in Scotland. The Battle of Bannockburn.
That would explain the stream on the chessboard. That's what a burn is. Right, Andre? As in Bannockburn?
Right, George. And it gets better. Tradition has it that the Scots were helped by a shock force of, well, can't you guess?
Knights Templar?
Yes, a group of outlawed Templars. They are said to have turned the tide for the Scots.
And it all ends at a church in the Isle of Britain at Bannockburn in a church.
What are we waiting for? I'll call a cab.
I can't go.
Andre, you've been loads of help, but...
What George is trying to say is that you shouldn't feel guilty.
I was?
We understand you've got commitments. Listen, we have to hurry. Let's go, George.
We'll see it through. Oh, and, don't worry about us.
Jesus, George, you really have to be such a dick. Okay. I think that this is probably a good place to stop. I don't imagine there's a ton left to this game. Oh wait, I can't save it right now? Well, maybe this isn't a good place to stop then. Okay, I will keep playing for a little while until I get to a safe place.
Pardon me. She must be deaf.
Yes, my dear.
Do you know what time we're due in Stirling?
6:15, but we're running 8 minutes late.
Okay.
Do you know Stirling well?
Yes, I do. Is that where you two lovebirds about?
Yeah,
It's one of the places we thought we'd stay on our holiday.
Be sure to visit the castle, won't you?
Oh, I'm sure it's a neat place. But we are not really interested in history, are we, George?
No.
History sucks.
Is there a church called St. Ninian's at Stirling?
Yes, there is. And I know why you're going there.
You do?
You do?
Of course I do. It's obvious you're in love.
Ah.
You're eloping, and they say romance is
Something
dead.
like that. Who said romance was dead?
What's the book you're reading?
Oh, it's something I picked up at the station. A medieval detective story. Quite well written for that kind of thing. It's been out of print for years.
Okay.
What's the title of the book?
The Crooked Crusader Caper by Molly Pegram. I assumed the author was a woman, but apparently not. His real name is...
Professor Nigel Pegram.
That's right. Do you know him?
No, I never met him.
George is a great fan of his, though.
Can you tell me anything about this clown's nose, madam?
Would you believe that this clown's nose led us to being on this train tonight?
I would indeed.
No, honestly, it... You would?
Certainly. You have an honest face.
Yep. That's a nose with a history, all right.
So you said.
Does the name Merlin mean anything to you?
Merlin, a master of illusions. Oh, you said Merlin? Then no, nothing.
Finally, they made that joke. Would you shake my hand, madam?
Do you know what this is?
Yes, I do. A young friend of mine shook my hand with one just the other day.
Yeah? Well, that's outrageous. He should be shot.
Perhaps. Still, his intentions were good.
I'm sorry that you've been zapped by one of these things.
You shouldn't be.
Okay, well...
Where are you going, George?
Do I need to spell it out?
Don't snap at me. If you're going to take a leak, why don't you say so?
Okay, I'm going to take a leak. L-E-A-K.
Tickets, please.
Oh, hi.
That's a standard full-price peak return. Don't you have a senior citizen's rail card?
I rarely travel by train. My ticket is perfectly valid, is it not?
Well, yeah, but you could have saved up to a third of the cost.
I do not need to indulge in
This
puffling
person's a costume
thriftiness.
Blimey,
killer.
you're a funny
Guessing.
old bird and no mistake. Tickets, please, sir.
Here.
Off to Stirling, eh?
Yes, we are.
Well, I hope you won't be disappointed. It's a miserable place this time of year. Still, there's plenty of pubs and a lovely view from the castle.
Thank you.
I don't want to worry you, but there was something familiar about that guy.
Are you sure? You're tired. Perhaps you're mistaken.
Maybe. But I didn't like the look in his eyes when he spoke to you.
Can't you sit still, George?
I need to go to the John.
While you're there, check out the buffet car, George. Unthinkable though it is, I am hungry enough to eat English food.
Okay.
Gotta be pretty hungry for that. Okay. What's up?
Hi. Having a party?
No, this is breakfast. Come on, join us, man. Where, Basha, wake up, man. What's company?
His breath was like the outlet from a chemical factory.
Excuse me, mate, he's taking a nap. Sleeping like a bobby. I'll wake him up when we get to Newcastle.
We passed through Newcastle half an hour ago.
And I never noticed.
What is that stuff you're drinking? It smells like gasoline.
Right, I'll put hairs in your chest, like.
And your eyeballs, too, by the looks of you. Would you like a red nose?
No, thanks, pal. I got one of my own.
Have you ever seen this man before?
Aye, man. He's chalky white and I claim my 10 quid, like.
No, he's an international assassin, and he goes by the name Khan.
Well,
Con.
aye, man, but I was close, you know.
Do you know what this is?
No, man, what is it?
It's a hand buzzer.
You won't catch me out with that, pal.
If I'd wanted to catch you out, I wouldn't have shown it to you, would I?
Well, maybe she's mate, pal. Like a clever double bluff, you know.
See you later. I didn't want to wake him. To be frank, without a cold water hose, I didn't think I could wake him.
Alright.
Give it
So
open
what
like
else?
a window, pal.
Why not?
It's freezing out there.
Okay. Nico. There's them.
Oh, no. That gangster creep from the hotel. Guido. Well, he didn't scare me. Hey, Buster. This is a no-smoking car. Okay, maybe he did scare me. It got worse. I suddenly realized who the conductor had reminded me of.
Oh no, it's the other guy.
Marquet's murderer.
Marquet's murderer. Damn it. Alright. I better go warn Nico, I guess. Wait, they're gone?
I should have known better than to leave Nico and the old lady alone.
The old lady was
Suddenly,
probably...
The Sword of Baphomet took second place to finding the girl I loved.
Loved? Wow. Getting pretty ahead of yourself there, George. Alright. Dude, did you see anything? I know you're a drunken gentleman, but I need help
buddy.
find my lady friend.
Did you see what happened to the young woman in the next compartment?
No, Paula, Divin, have you lost her, like?
She's disappeared. The old lady, too. I think they're in trouble.
Oh, yeah, man, an old lady, too.
Yeah. You gotta help me.
Maybe they went to the toilet, like.
I don't think so.
They never go on their own. Always in pairs, you know.
No, she's been abducted. I'm sure. I've got to go look for her.
What's stopping you, pal?
The conductor. He's not what he seems.
You want to avoid him, like?
That's about it, yeah.
No problem.
Listen, I need your help.
What's the matter?
There's a guy on this train who's trying to kill me.
Relax, man. You wouldn't try nothing with us in Basharia. We are veterans, like. Slow action at Breitling Sea.
I don't recall the British Army being involved in a conflict in anywhere called Breitling Sea.
Well, you just take it from me, pal. You're in safe hands.
Alright. What Wizard says, what a twist! Okay.
See you later.
Divin, do it, pal. Don't jump.
I don't intend to jump. I'm going to climb on top of the train.
You're kidding, aren't you?
Just watch me.
This is also the thing you do a lot in the
Hold on
Last
now, pal.
Express.
I'll give you a hand, like.
Alright. I guess I'm supposed to go this way. Oh no. Oh, damn. Oh, no.
I always wanted to stop a train. And now was my chance.
Oh, snap.
You saved our lives, but why?
We were always on the same side, Stobart. Different causes, but a common enemy.
The Knights
Khan was a
Templar?
hero all along.
Call them that. The real Templars were a noble foe. These barbarians have no right to that name. These men are no better than dogs.
What are the Neo-Templars after? What is the Sword of Baphomet?
Not what you think, my friend. It is a weapon, yes, but one which our enemies will find difficult to wield. A double-edged sword. A power older than Dimolay, older than Solomon.
We'll stop them. You and me together, and Nico.
No, George. My journey
By the way,
ends soon
you might want to untie
at
Nico,
the Garden
George.
of Paradise.
You're talking in riddles. Can't you tell me straight what they're after?
The sword symbolizes a colossal energy caused by the alignment of the Earth's natural power fields.
Which are focused at St. Ninian's.
The energy endowed the Templars with the power which made them great. A power which made them charismatic to such an extent they could control the will of all around them.
What Wizard says, what? A very fitting thing for What Wizard to say. Panda Space Dan says, nice. Neo-Templars? Is it a sequel to this game in the cyberpunk genre? Maybe. Panda Space Dan also says, this is turned decidedly Tex Murphian. Well, I will not accept this as a Tex Murphian game unless there's either a very long sequence of me riding through space in a flying car, or a ridiculous jigsaw puzzle.
How did you escape from the bull's head?
It is a long walk from the cliff of the bull to the village, Stobart. Fortunately, I know the ways of the wilderness.
Well, Khan, I know you don't have much time left, but I was wondering if you could tell me anything about this red clown's nose.
Maybe not.
I have this picture of you that I've been keeping with me, Colin.
No way.
Colin, I just thought maybe I'd like to shake your hand one last time before you go.
That is not a good idea.
Alright, well. So long.
May Allah guide you to our enemies.
Thanks.
One last thing.
What? What is it?
He's gonna
dead.
die before he says it. Yep. Alright. What Wizard says, come on. Panda Space Dan says, boo. Yeah. Alright, Nico. I am sorry that I have not untied you yet.
Don't worry, I hadn't forgotten about you.
Untie me this instant, George Stobart.
I will, when I'm ready.
That's not fair, George.
No.
You took advantage while my hands were tied.
When Eklund pointed that gun at me, I thought I was gonna die.
Did he kiss
I thought
her?
of all the things I'd never get to do, and kissing you was at the top of my list.
George,
Uh-huh.
George, we've got to get off the train. Eklund could recover at any time.
So what are we waiting for?
Alright. Get off the train. Panda Space Dan says, seriously? What a dick. Oh, it's romantic, Panda Space Dan. Kissing someone while their hands are tied behind their back. No, it probably really isn't.
I'd
Unless
feel
you have
happier if we had a
confirmed
gun or
consent.
something.
Which I don't think he
gave
did.
me something.
What?
His handbag.
Oh, great. If we run into any killers, we can give them a good buffeting. Didn't he have any weapons?
You
Good
don't know
Warren
half of
buffeting.
it. This bag's full of C4.
Wow. Why didn't you say so?
Boy, we'll show them now. What's C4?
Plastic, George.
We're going to shop our way to victory?
2 kilos of plastic explosive. The detonator's broken now.
No problem. We'll buy a box of matches somewhere.
It doesn't work that way. It takes a small explosion to start the big explosion.
Well, that's not much use then.
What does that sign say?
Apparently during the English Civil War in the mid-17th century, this place was used as an arms dump.
Yeah? What happened?
Look at the state of this place, George. You work it out.
Oh, stray spark?
You got it. The tower was the only thing to survive the blast.
I hope the explosion didn't destroy the Sword of Baphomet.
Do you? I rather hope it did.
Yeah, that's fair enough. What Wizard says, how doesn't he don't know what C4 is? I don't know how he don't know. What Wizard? I don't know.
Above the carved cross was an indecipherable inscription. For all I knew, it could have been scribed in Gaelic. I tried pushing the panel, but wasn't surprised when it failed to move.
What Wizard says, grammar. I'm bad at this. I am also bad at Kelsey grammar. There is a gargoyle. I hope this gargoyle doesn't come alive and tell wacky jokes.
No.
No what?
Maybe not. No. No way.
Okay.
The handle turned easily, and the larger wheel began to revolve.
Damn!
Then the handle came off in my hand.
What Wizard says, you don't need to read this. Nonsense, What Wizard. I need to read everything. I need to read it all.
I pushed the handle into the demon's mouth.
Good. Now what? There's probably more things I need. Maybe it's in this pile of garbage over here.
I scrabbled around in the rubble and found an old clay pipe with a broken stem.
Okay. The clay pipe.
I was sure the clay pipe wasn't meant to fit in there.
Okay, how about here?
It was no good. The demon wasn't inhaling.
How about here?
The clay pipe wasn't meant to fit.
Okay, fine.
Under one of the stones, I found a metal coin which was green with age.
Green with envy and age.
It was caked with soil, but what I'd found was a small cog and spindle. With mounting excitement, I felt something between my fingers. It was short, hard, and black. Something I hadn't expected to find here. It was a plastic pen top.
Plastic pen top?
I didn't find anything. Now that the handle was gone, it was easy to remove the cog and spindle.
Okay. Nothing else to do there, I guess. Oops. So I'm guessing maybe these go...
The cog slipped neatly into the eye socket. With a rasp of metal on stone, I eased the second eye into place.
The cogs all meshed. It began to turn.
Okay. Nice. Further into the depths we go.
As soon as I saw the flickering torches, I realized the bogus Templars had beaten us to the sword. But where were they now? And why was it so quiet?
Not the sword of Boba Fett.
Listen, I can definitely hear chanting.
You're right. I hear it too. What do you suppose they're doing?
It wouldn't surprise me if they were holding some kind of satanic sex ritual.
So, what are we waiting for? Will you look at that? Baphomet. Labino was right. This place was ancient even to the Templars.
This whole place? This is Baphomet?
Finally, the truth. The Templars had never worshipped this graven image, no more than they'd worship a rainbow. But, like a rainbow, they regarded it as a symbol of a covenant with God, who'd revealed this place to them.
Rosso! Why, the double-dealing treacherous?
On the contrary, Inspector Rosso has been the model of obedience, an important quality in a true Templar. Now be quiet and watch, if you wish to live much longer.
Twist! The police officer from the beginning is an evil Templar man.
Witness the reforging of the sword that was broken. Here before God's sentinel, Baphomet, Grand Master and Knight of Baphomet, we salute and pledge our obedience to you.
I salute you, gatekeeper of the temple. 7 centuries ago, our greatest weapon, the sword of Baphomet, was lost to us. Now we prepare to reforge it, to wield against new enemies. We shall lead the people to a new order, wherein all borders will dissolve. All will be united under the red cross of the Templars.
no. It's a regular Raiders of the Lost Ark ending. I'm assuming that this guy will die.
George, we have watched your efforts to stop us with respect. But surely you realize that you have been misled by our enemies. Both of us want a better world.
Does George want a better world?
No harm has been done. We need determined, resourceful men like you. Join us, George. Join us in true brotherhood.
Yeah. True.
Wait. Brothers? What about Marquet? What about Pegram and Klausner? You didn't look on them as brothers, only as failures. 3 men dead, and you don't give a damn.
George, you know that sacrifices are necessary. Every great undertaking.
Join you. I'll see you in hell first.
Ah, George, I had great hopes for you. C'est la guerre. Eklund. Kill him.
Panda Space Stan says this man is Jafar. I guess he has some Jafar-like qualities, doesn't he? Oh no! Oh good.
I swear, I just wanted things to be right.
Damn, this isn't going well.
Kill them. They will not escape.
Well, well. If it isn't the great detective and his beautiful assistant, it's going to be a
Guido.
pleasure killing the pair of you.
George, what are we going to do?
Quickly, think of something.
Come on, Nico. We're leaving.
We're doing that.
You fools! You cannot escape us. Guido! Stop them.
But master, the powder!
That powder is from the English Civil War. You fool. It's over 300 years old. How explosive do you think it can be?
I thought it was all over, but Nico had one last trick up her sleeve. Or in her handbag, to be exact. A handbag full of plastic explosives.
Maybe,
Nice.
but this stuff is brand new.
Haha! Too bad she didn't think of that earlier. Nice! We're just gonna blow the whole thing to the ground, right? Oh no, nothing like a kiss by the smoking ruins of an ancient
We didn't
ancient
stay
site
long
that you
in
just
Scotland.
blew up.
George had a vacation to finish, and I had another story to write. Not the real story, of course, but enough half-truths to fill a page and pay my rent for the month. George and I hung out together in Paris. I showed him my favorite restaurants, and he told me his best jokes.
You know, Nico, this city holds so many memories for me now. The cafes, the music.
The sewers.
Tell me about it. The clowns.
The audio
The
quality
jugglers.
just got a lot better.
And your pal Labano.
Yes, dear Andre.
When we first met, and I was doing my detective stuff, you kind of disappeared a lot, Nico. Were you and Labano,
There was something happening. but nothing to do with Andre.
Uh-huh.
It was something from the past that I had to deal with, on my own. So, I dealt with it, and now it's over.
Hey, did I ever tell you the one about the old Irish couple in the lottery?
No, but I think you're going to.
Okay, there's this old Irish couple. They've been married forever, like 50 years, and they win the lottery.
Nothing like a good old Irish joke to end things here, huh? So I now have this Templar symbol. Director's message. Thank you for playing Broken Sword, Shadow of the Templars, the director's cut. You're welcome. 2010 marks Revolution's 20th anniversary. Back in 1990, the Berlin Wall had just fallen. Sierra, creator of the King's Quest series, amongst many other adventure titles, ruled supreme in adventure market. Well, they're gone. And LucasArts was emerging with a new breed of witty, quirky adventure games. Monkey Island was just around the corner. I was development director at the publisher Activision and was keen to set up a development company to challenge the American behemoths. Tony Warrener, a designer-programmer with whom I had worked a few years earlier, was bored writing aeronautical software. So was his colleague David Sykes, and Noreen Carmody, who was general manager for Activision UK, wanted to move from publishing to development. This is the Revolution team when we first started in 1990. Man, that's an awesome picture. They look like a team of like... it looks like a band photo. Those are the guys that made this game. Sean Brennan, then head of the publisher Mirosoft, not to be confused with Microsoft, invited me out to lunch one day and told me that if I wanted to set up a studio, then he would fund and publish our games. Everything was fitting into place. All we needed was a game concept to pitch. The game concept was later to evolve into Lure of the Temptress. I played that game on my stream. You can watch it if you want, back in my YouTube archives. Based on a system that we called Virtual Theater, the adventure engine guided characters intelligently around a game world. Well, semi-intelligently. We worked non-stop for weeks to write a prototype, and then drove to Microsoft's office in London to make the presentation. But en route, after leaving the car unattended for a few minutes, a thief broke into it. The radio was stolen, but for some reason the thieves didn't take the PC on the back seat, which was not insured. So the pitch went ahead. Microsoft commissioned the game, and Revolution was born. Good. Panda Space Dan says, it's weird to think about Sierra as a video game giant. Well, they were. I think they were actually the publishers of the Half-Life games early on. I could be wrong about that, but I think that's true. Or I should say the distributors of the Half-Life games early on. So yeah, they were pretty big up until like the late 90s or something like that. Into the early 2000s. This is the Lure of the Temptress team in the early 1990s. Very cool. Still looks like a sweet band photo. The Broken Sword series was conceived, like so many of the best ideas, over an excellent dinner with plenty of wine. It was 1994, and I was dining with Noreen Carmody and Sean Brennan, who is now head of publishing at Virgin Interactive. We started talking about the mythology of the Templars, almost unheard of at that time, and what a rich historical background it would create for any entertainment product, particularly a game. And so, 10 years before the plethora of Templar-themed entertainment products, Broken Sword was born. This was the first conception drawing for George. Nice. Not too different. This is how Nico started life. Again, not too different. We had very high ambitions for the game, but the competition was fierce. At Revolution, we had an excellent team who had written some very successful adventures. But to move to the next level, we needed to bring in the very best people from other creative industries. I convinced a very talented layout artist, Eogon Cahill, to join the project. He and his colleagues, Neil Breen, who had both previously worked at the Don Bluth Studios in Dublin, drew all the backgrounds in pencil, and we digitally colored them in Photoshop. Nice. A bridge over the Seine, surprisingly similar to the Ouse Bridge in York. Beautiful. The main characters and the introduction sequences were created and drawn by a brilliant animator, Mike Burgess, who worked for Red Rover Animation Studio. Tragically, Mike, who was in his 20s, died a few months later. A few years earlier, I had played for a cricket team with the composer Barrington Felelm. We had since lost contact, but when I contacted him to suggest that he might like to write the music, he jumped at the chance. The dream team had come together. The development process was very exhilarating, but often fraught. On its release, Broken Sword was incredibly well received, both critically and commercially. The game was followed a year later by Broken Sword 2. After a gap of 5 years, we moved to a 3D presentation for Broken Sword 3, and then Broken Sword 4. While hugely controversial, the move to 3D was necessary to secure publisher support, although my provocative statement that point-and-click adventures are dead has often returned to haunt me. Man, he said that? The enigmatic Dwayne. Who is he, really? Good question. Rafika, okay, my cat just, jumped onto my table. And she is not allowed on my table, but there she is. Get off the table, Rafika. And does his mysterious wife, Pearl, really know for sure? Chantal, the hapless waitress. For the director's cut, I have had the pleasure of working with comic book artist Dave Gibbons, with whom we had worked previously on Beneath a Steel Sky. Dave has drawn the facial expressions and the new movies. An honorable mention goes to Tony Warner, who has been an integral part of Revolution since its inception, and Joost Peters, with whom Tony has programmed this new version. And, of course, commercial director Noreen Carmody, who has helped steer the company through both the good and difficult times. I feel extraordinarily proud that 15 years after we conceived and started designing the first game, there is still such a passion for the games, and privileged that so many fans have remained so loyal to the series. Thank you. Charles Cecil, director. Team had grown by 1996. Very nice. This is Charles Cecil today with slightly less hair. There's Noreen Carmody, founder of Revolution. Charles and Dave, working on Beneath a Steel Sky. Another game I played, by the way. You can go into my YouTube archives and find that as well. Dave Gibbons today. Tony Warner, co-founder and director's cut programmer. Oh hey, and he has a cat on his desk too. Joost Peters, present-day Revolution programmer. Photograph of Constantine's broken sword erected outside York Minster a few years ago. Okay, well, that is Broken Sword, Shadows of the Templar. And it was a pretty... yeah, it was a really good game. I thought the dialogue was really witty. And it was funny, made me laugh at a lot of parts. I thought the puzzle design was pretty good. It was a fairly easy game. Nothing really stumped me at any point. But I'm okay with that. You know, I've played enough esoteric-assed adventure games at this point, and it's kind of refreshing to just kind of play through a good story, which is what I did, and it was very, very interactive, and it really transported me on this international journey, I think much better than some other games did. I think it might have even been, for me at least, it's probably up there with Indiana Jones and Fate of Atlantis for me. Definitely better than Zack McCracken, which, in fairness, came out quite a few years before this one. But yeah, I really liked this. I think my only criticism would probably be that the plot was a little difficult to wrap my head around. I thought that the historical references and all the artifacts and things that you found were good, but at a certain point, it started to get a little confusing, at least for me. And maybe that's just because I wasn't following it well, or because I was spacing out my playthrough. But I think when you're playing a game over a long period of time, which I think you inevitably do with a game this long, it's hard to be able to piece everything together. I know that the stuff with Nico was added for the director's cut, and while I did enjoy playing as Nico, I wasn't sure that those parts were necessary. I didn't really feel like they added much to the story, but it's altogether possible that they'll play in more in later Broken Sword games, which I will be playing in the future. Pana Space Dan says, not enough jigsaw puzzles, so the final score is 3 out of 10. Well, that's your prerogative, Panda Space Dan. Alright, so my next game, what am I going to play next, you may ask? Let me pull up the old doc. I have a document of all of the video games I want to play. Hold on. Google Drive is moving kind of slowly right now for some reason. Here is my document. Games for a stream. I think it might be Toonstruck next, but we'll see in a second here. Okay, so this game came out in 1996. My next game come on now. My next game, which also came out in 1996, is indeed Toonstruck. So I will be playing Toonstruck with you starting Monday. And I've never played Toonstruck before, so it should be a good time. And I'm glad that you joined me on this journey through the world of Broken Sword, Shadows of the Templar. And I will see you soon for Toonstruck. Good night.